Good afternoon, everybody, internet people, YouTube family. It's Sean Michael Robinson, and today I want to talk about doing your best. All right, seeing the goals, and sometimes pushing harder, creating bigger goals than what's set out for you, especially in a corporate environment. So if they tell you to do 10, really you got to do 20, 30. Say, hey, listen, to do your best to get these deals closed, your number is 10 for this time frame. Well, then double that and expect the best from yourself. All right. We want to call today with some of the top producers in the company, and a couple of insights, some really good takeaways, and that was one of them. So instead of looking at the number that they're going to give you and saying, okay, let me focus on that number, whether it be I need 10 new sales, well, just double that to know that, at the end of the day, if I fall short, then if I shoot for the clouds, right, or shoot for the moon, land on a cloud is what they say, something like that. So really just saying, hey, you know what? Whatever you say I should do in order to reach these specific goals that have been set out for me, let me do more, right? If they tell me to do 10, I'm gonna do 20. If they tell me to do 20, I'm gonna do 30. Or even you wanna really go in 50, really saying, hey, I know I could do it, and putting that extra effort in to make sure that you're not, running with the crowd, you're running ahead of the crowd, on some David Goggins type of next level. Listen, whatever it is, I have to be the best. I have to do the best. And I was listening to Tony Robbins, and he was talking to Patrick Bet-David, and he was just talking about, what it takes to be at the next level. They were talking about Michael Jordan. And one key thing they said was that, Michael Jordan, at the end of the day, he didn't see competition in other people. He was really competing against himself. All right, that's deep. So it's like, listen, obviously there's going to be other people around, and that's competition to a certain extent. But really, you're in competition with yourself once you take it to a certain level of excellence. All right, so when you're at that level, even, and the funny thing was, Tony Robbins said that he met Jordan and he asked him, what makes you, what drives you, what's one of the things that make you the best? And that's what he said. He said, I compete with myself. But where did Jordan get that from? He said he got it from Dr. J. And Tony Robbins knew that because he had read Dr. J's autobiography, right? And that's what he was doing. So competing with yourself, that's saying, listen, I don't care. It's not about what you say. Yeah, I'm taking that into account, obviously, because that's the number. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go above and beyond whatever number that you give me, because that is the mentality, that's the mindset that I have, is to take it to the next level and really, do extraordinary work. I don't know if you guys heard of David Goggins. I rock with him. And it was like, listen, you don't have to necessarily run a marathon with 2 broken legs. But hey, you know what? Maybe you do. Right? If that's the situation and you got to get it done, then you know what? It's like, hey, regardless of whatever, I'm getting it done. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. Right? And that's kind of like a superpower as far as what I'm seeing. And I understand that because I know when I'm at the top of my game, that's how I'm thinking. Right? Oh, I need 2 sales a month. Is that's my quota? Well, you know what? I gotta do 4, maybe even 6 for my own edification, for me to know that I'm really going in and I'm doing the best possible job I can, and really just ensuring that regardless, I'm getting not even just to my number, but I'm planning on surpassing that significantly, right? So that starts with the planning. That starts with the mindset. Start with the mindset of, you know what? I'm gonna overdo it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna overdo it. Now, maybe that's not a good idea in certain things, but I do tend to agree that in sales, when you're going for a goal, that's kind of the only way to get it done, right? I mean, if you want to really be the best at something, it's like, how much time did you spend in the gym, right? That was what Kobe, one of Kobe Bryant's secret powers. They say he'd be in the gym before anybody. And if he saw you in the gym before him, he'll make sure the next day he gets there even earlier. Mamba mentality, as he called it, right? So if we could take that Mamba mentality, and I'm sure different people have different names for it, but it's the same concept. It's the same mentality. Listen, whatever it takes, I'm gonna make it happen. And how do I make it happen? What is whatever it takes? Whatever it takes is really the extra work, which kind of goes back to my other video, the last video I uploaded, which was going into the whole 80 hours a week. Should you be working 80 hours a week? If you don't, are you lazy? Well, I would say that it doesn't necessarily mean you have to work 80 hours a week. It might mean that, maybe depending on your skill level and the time frame and the time you're at, your skill level at that time. As you get better, right, it might not take you 80 hours to get done what you need to get done, depending on obviously what you're doing. But if it does, put in that 80 hours, put in that 100 hours, however much it takes, whatever amount of time it takes. And hopefully over time, you get better at the thing and you don't need to spend as much time on it because you're just better at doing it. But until you get to that place, it's like I'm willing to put in that time and that work to get to a level of mastery. As I said in my other videos, mastery of your craft. Mastery of your craft, mastery of yourself, saying, hey, you know what? This is how I roll. I'm gonna make sure I get it done. So that this call today pretty much reinforced that, and it got me real excited. Got me very excited because I'm just like, yeah, that's how I roll. But sometimes maybe you forget, sometimes you get discouraged, especially in a sales environment, people rejecting you all the time. Right? Because that's part of the game. That's part of the job. Is taking rejection, but not just not absorbing it. Right? So really, don't even take it. More say dealing with or transmutating the rejection into hunger, into drive. Let's say, right? So that last no. Right, as they say, we know it's gonna get us closer to the yes. Keeping that vision in your mind, keeping that drive and that desire and that hunger, because you can do it, and you know that people are not gonna see things right away. Sometimes it takes a little while. Sometimes people want to get to know you. Sometimes it's not even really a no. It's just that they don't know you yet. So therefore, they're not willing to really even talk to you on a real level, telling you really what's going on, whether it be with their business, whether it be with the situation, whatever it is, because they don't know you, they don't like you, or they don't trust you yet. And you understand that, and your solution to that is, okay, well, I'll keep pushing until you really tell me no, or whatever, or you tell me yes, right? Let's keep going. And then sometimes, it's like, okay, well, I'm doing what I need to do because this is my job. I'm not taking it personal that, you're not just fallen over in love with me yet. Right? Okay, it takes a little time. But to know me is to love me. So in a matter of time, you're going to love me and we'll get it done. Or maybe you won't and we won't get it done, but I'm going to keep moving because I provide value, I bring value, and I know that. And if you can't see that, well, maybe you don't, your business or you're not ready for this yet. And understand that too. But I'm not taking it personal. I'm just going to keep on going. I'll touch base with you in a month then. I'll come back. Because I'm going to keep on coming. Right? Because I have the drive and the tenacity to get what I want to get done. I'm going to get my goals accomplished. Sometimes you could fall short, but as long as you're not falling short within your own mind as to what you're capable of and falling short of what you set forth as your actual tasks to accomplish in order to accomplish that goal, then you didn't really fail. That's how I look at it, right? You're just moving forward. Even if you want to call it failing, what they say, you're failing forward, right? I failed forward into achieving my goals, because even when it didn't come together like I anticipated, I kept on going, I kept on pushing, and I'm over expecting for myself because I know what I can do, right? And I'm saying that as it'd be someone else, as you would say it to yourself, but I'm saying it to myself, that this is how I think, this is how I move, and I know that regardless, sooner or later, I'm gonna get to that goal. I'm gonna accomplish that goal. And if I fall short this month, there's another month. As long as I keep going, sometimes, the energy, the momentum will build up to where, because you put that out in the past, that type of energy out in the past and that tenacity out in the past, people start to recognize it going forward in the future. Excuse me. All right. So the key to this conversation today, and the key, the meeting, what I took away from it was over promise to yourself, right? Over promise to yourself, over work. If you got to work the 100 hours, the 80 hours, work the 80 hours until you can get that down to 40. To maybe you automate the process and maybe you don't have to work any hours because it's set up already. But in the beginning, you have to do what you have to do in order to get to the goal, right? See where the puck is going to be, as Wayne Gretzky says, not where it's at now. So the takeaway is do more, right? Do more until you're able to do more with less. All right, let's sit down and think about that for a minute. And I'm pulling up to handle some business right now. So I'm out. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.